Welcome back to Taiwan Talk on ICRT FM 100. I'm Ryan Drillsma, and this week I talk to French filmmaker Aurélien Gergaud, who has made several short movies since moving to Taiwan over 5 years ago, inspired by his life and surroundings in Taipei. All right, so my first question for you is, how did you get into directing and filmmaking in the first place?
At first I was an actor in France. I studied acting in Paris and in New York. And then slowly I wanted to tell my own stories, and I was impatient, I guess. So I started to just write my own projects, and I went into directing.
What inspired you to bring your directing career to Taiwan?
There was several reasons, but I think something was over in France. What I could do was over. Also, artistically, I really liked Taiwanese movies from the 90s, and it was kind of a very special rhythm universe that they were developing. People like Ho Xiaoxian or Tsai Ming-liang at that time, and I really admired it. And some people would say that Taipei is an ugly city because it's like big blocks of concrete, but those directors helped really rising poetry from a city that may appear ugly, and they find the beauty in it, and I was very intrigued by that.
So can you tell us about some of the more recent projects that you've worked on?
So the first one was, it's called The Mermaid and the Whale. It was originally a feature film, but I had this story since a long time. It's about a man getting pregnant. And the thing is, I didn't want to turn it into a pure comedy, like a clown comedy, because it's been done already, and I think it's more interesting to take it to deeper subject, like what is parenting, and also self-esteem and memory. And when I came to Taiwan, it was kind of a blank page. I had friends, but I didn't have any network. I was just fresh arrived, and I knew no one to work with. So I thought, I'm going to do a short movie, and I just adapted the feature movie I had, the screenplay, into a short version. And I did this story just to test it, to test how I can work in Taiwan. And we had a lot of fun.
And you won a Best Screenplay Award in France, right?
Yeah, it won Best Screenplay in France.
What was that experience like?
Since this movie was dropped twice, and it feels like, okay, finally I wasn't that wrong,
Yeah. Okay, can you tell us about another short movie that you've produced called Insomnia? Because this has quite a different tone to The Mermaid and the Whale.
Yeah, it's a different ambience. It's more of, I wanted to do a film noir, more contemplative, to take the time to really tell a story in a different kind of rhythm. It's still very inspired by all the movies from the 90s from those Taiwanese directors. Also, I wanted to try to grab an ambience of Taipei. And also, I wanted to talk about the culture here, and I wanted to talk about many things, but kind of bring modern love life and make an echo to reincarnation. It's because to me there is a cycle of love, breakup, mourn.
Well, I noticed in the credits for Insomnia specifically, you were credited for a lot of the work that goes into the movie. Obviously screenwriting, directing, production, also lighting. Do you do the camera work yourself, or?
So for Insomnia it was a special concept because so I was at that time I was breaking up with my ex-boyfriend, and I was very alone, and I kind of wanted to stay alone, and I took it as a challenge for that movie to do everything alone. So I wrote it. Like everything happened in that very room, like where I'm speaking in right now. Like the writing happened here. The filming happened like 80% here. We didn't leave the apartment. And then the editing happened here. Just the mixing was taken care of in a studio outside of this apartment, but everything was here. And also because I didn't get any budget for this movie, and I didn't get like a lot of budget for The Mermaid and the Whale, my previous short movie, my first short movie in Taiwan either.
Okay. Going back to your influences, you mentioned that you're a big fan of some of the legendary Taiwanese directors like Hou Xiaoxian, Tsai Ming-liang, and then you mentioned that you like the fact that they can take somewhere that might not be considered beautiful to many people, find the beauty within that. I can see that you're inspired by these directors on a visual, conceptual level. Since you've had this experience doing all the lighting and editing and all that sort of stuff by yourself as well, are there any specific techniques that you found these Taiwanese directors used in their movies that you were inspired by?
I'm very inspired by Li Pingbing's photography. I think he's a genius, but he's not only in Taiwan. He does many movies out of Taiwan too. He's like really like on an international level.
So what is it specifically about his work?
The frames, the lighting, the colors he uses, and the way he has to understand the story also.
What are some of the movies that he's worked on that people might know?
He did part of In the Mood for Love.
Oh, okay.
He did all the movies from Hou Xiaoxian since the 90s, like Millennium Mambo. Millennium Mambo, his work is absolutely astonishing in that movie.
What are some of the international directors or movie producers or anyone involved in filmmaking that have inspired you?
The first name who comes to me is maybe Jaco van Dormel, Jean-Marc Vallée, who is a Canadian director. Back in the days, maybe Almodovar. I love his movies from the 80s, 90s.
Where can people find more information about your work?
I have a website, so it's www.myname aurelien-bingan.com.
Great.
Yeah, but I mostly work in editing now, so I have projects, but some are more or less advanced, but I keep writing, but I'm more waiting for some budget to.
Can you tell us about some of the ideas you have for future productions that you haven't started working on?
Yes. Yeah, sure. So I still have like this feature version of The Mermaid and the Whale, the short movie I did. I'm actually thinking about transforming it into like a short series kind of thing, with like 9 episodes for 9 months of pregnancy, following this man who is pregnant. I have also a very funny kind of Sex and the City, but gay and in Taipei, that is called Making Love and the Foreigner. So like it's their name, like one is called May, one is called King, and one is called Love and the Foreigner. So it's basically 4 friends who decide to vlog, to open a video blog about gay life in Taipei. So I wanted to be kind of scandalous, and playful, and disrespectful, and dirty, and trash. So it's like Sex and the City was. Short movie also idea. It's a short musical. I never did a musical. I wanted to be. I see it like very camp, very disco. And it's kind of a modern adaptation, as Romeo, like Romeo and Juliet, but in Taiwan. And the story would be a clerk from 7-Eleven falls in love with a clerk from Family Mart across the street. And of course, it's forbidden. So it's their like love story that is like doomed.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Best of luck with all your projects in the future.
Well, if a producer listens to that, please call me.
That was French filmmaker Aurélien Giagot talking to me, Ryan Drillsma, on Taiwan Talk. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to tune in next time for an all-new episode. Hi, I'm Ryan Drillsma.
And I'm Trevor Tortomasi.
And we're the co-hosts of Taiwan Talk.
You can catch our show on ICRT every Monday during the 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. newscasts.
Or you can catch us on Apple Podcasts, SoundOn, or wherever you might usually find podcasts.
New episodes are uploaded every Monday night.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with a new guest.